former presidential candidate in the February 25th, 2023 presidential election, Atiku Abubakar, has affirmed that as long as he breathes, he will persist in the pursuit of political and economic restructuring essential for the country to attain its true potential. Now, Atiku expressed grave concerns about the implications of the recent Supreme Court judgment on Nigeria's democracy, warned that if the highest court implies through its decisions that crime should be rewarded, the nation faces doom, regardless of who holds political office. Now, addressing a World Press Conference in Abuja, Atiku underscored the long-lasting consequences of such decisions, emphasizing that their impact would extend beyond the current government tenure, leaving an indelible mark on the nation for decades.
The Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, implies by its judgment that crime is good and should be rewarded, then Nigeria has lost. And the country is doomed irrespective of who occupies the presidential seat. If the Supreme Court decides that the electoral umpire, INEC, can tell the public one thing and then do something else in order to reach a corruptly predetermined outcome, then there is really no hope for the country's democracy and electoral process. Obviously, the consequences of those decisions for the country will not end at the expiration of the current government. They will last for decades. As for me and my party, this phase of work is done. However, I'm not going to go away. If you think I'm going to go away, forget about it. For as long as I breathe, I will continue to struggle with other Nigerians to deepen our democracy and rule of law. I will continue to work for the kind of political and economic restructuring that the country needs to reach its true potential. That struggle should now be led by the younger generation of Nigerians who have even more at stake than my own generation.
While emphasizing the need for substantive democracy that respects the will of the people, Atiku outlined the reforms as he proposed urgent constitutional amendments to prevent courts and tribunals from using technicalities, mandatory implementation of electronic voting and result collation, timely conclusion of election litigations before swearing in president, single 6-year term with geopolitical rotation, amongst others.
We can urgently make constitutional amendments, and I'm happy members of the National Assembly are here, that will prevent any court or tribunal from hiding behind technicalities and legal sophistry to affirm electoral haste and undermine the will of the people. We must make electronic voting and collation of results mandatory. We don't want to see any human being handling our results, whether at the polling units, at the ward, at the local government, or we should all be able to stay in our homes and look at the television as the television is putting our results. We must provide that all litigation arising from a disputed elections must be concluded before inauguration of the winner. Please, I beg of you, this was the case in 1979. I don't know how we came to this present situation. In order to reduce the desperation of incumbents and distractions from governing, and also to promote equity and national unity, we need to move to a single 6-year term for president to be rotated among the 6 geopolitical zones. In order to ensure popular mandate and real representation, we must move to require a candidate for president to earn 50% plus one of the valid votes cast, failing which a runoff between the top two candidates will be held.